Before we begin, take a slow, gentle breath with me, in through the nose and slowly out through the mouth. Because today we are not here to fear life, we are here to understand it. And understanding is what quietly dissolves fear. Many people ask me softly, sometimes with trembling voices, how do we know when the end may be approaching, for someone we love, or even for ourselves? And I tell them this: the end of life is not an enemy hiding in the shadows. It is a teacher that arrives gently when its lesson is complete. Death is not a sudden thief. It is a slow closing of a door after a long, meaningful day of work. When we understand this, we stop resisting. And when resistance ends, peace begins. Today, I will share with you 5 subtle signs that an elderly person may be entering the final year of life. Not to create sadness, fear, or despair, but to awaken awareness, compassion, and presence. Because the final chapter of life can be the most meaningful one if we walk through it consciously, with love. The first sign is a quiet and unexplained loss of physical weight and appetite, not driven by illness, but by the body's natural wisdom. As the years accumulate, the body no longer seeks growth or expansion. It seeks balance, simplicity, and rest. The hunger that once drove survival slowly fades, because the body understands it no longer needs fuel for long journeys. Food begins to lose its urgency. Meals become smaller, and sometimes even taste itself seems to disappear. This is not neglect. This is intelligence. Nature never wastes energy. When the body begins to release weight, it is also releasing effort, tension, and the need to sustain what is no longer required. Many families panic at this stage, trying to force nourishment, believing that eating more will somehow pull life backward. But life does not move backward. True care here is softness, offering warmth instead of pressure, presence instead of insistence. A bowl of soup offered with love nourishes more deeply than a full plate given with fear. This physical lightening often mirrors an inner lightening, as attachments begin to loosen and the body prepares to travel lighter. The second sign is an increase in sleep and a deepening need for rest, where wakefulness becomes brief and gentle, and sleep occupies much of the day. This is not weakness. This is not giving up. This is conservation. Just as winter invites the earth to rest after harvest, the later stages of life invite the body inward. Sleep becomes a bridge between worlds, where consciousness floats softly, touching memories, dreams, and sometimes something beyond words. You may notice the elderly drifting in and out of sleep during conversations, meals, or prayer, and this can feel painful to witness. But understand this deeply. When activity ends, awareness does not. Even in sleep, the presence of your voice, your gentle touch, your calm energy is felt more deeply than you realize. Do not wake them unnecessarily. Do not demand alertness. Sit beside them. Breathe with them. This shared stillness becomes a form of meditation, where love is transmitted without speech. The third sign is withdrawal from social interaction and worldly activities, a turning inward that is often misunderstood as depression or detachment. In truth, it is integration. After decades of engagement with the external world, the mind naturally seeks closure, reflection, and inner alignment. Conversations lose urgency. Noise becomes tiring. Silence becomes comforting. The elderly may stop watching television, avoid gatherings, and speak less, choosing instead to sit quietly or gaze out a window. This is not rejection of loved ones. It is preparation. Like a traveler organizing their thoughts before departure, the soul begins to gather itself. When this happens, do not pull them outward. Meet them where they are. Sit with them without filling the space. Silence shared in love is one of the deepest forms of connection. Often in these quiet moments, they are doing their most important inner work, reconciling memories, forgiving themselves, releasing regrets, and arriving at peace. The fourth sign is a noticeable change in energy levels and breathing patterns. Even small movements feel exhausting. The rhythm of breath becomes slower, softer, sometimes irregular. Breath is life's most honest messenger. When breath slows, life is not breaking, it is settling. The heart and lungs no longer race to sustain productivity. They shift into maintenance, prioritizing comfort over endurance. You may hear long pauses between breaths or gentle sighs that sound like letting go. When accompanied by calmness, this is not suffering. This is surrender. Your role here is not to fix the breath, but to protect the peace around it. Lower the lights, reduce noise, speak softly, touch gently. Fear tightens the breath, love relaxes it. When the environment is calm, the body follows. At this stage, your presence is not just support, it is sanctuary. The fifth and most profound sign is a deep, inner sense of letting go, where the elderly begin to release possessions, worries, identities, and even the need to stay. They may speak of loved ones who have passed, give away meaningful items, or say things like, "I've lived a full life," or "I am ready." These words are not a call for reassurance, they are an expression of completion. Many families resist this stage, saying, "Don't talk like that," because love becomes mixed with fear. But love that clings creates tension. Love that allows creates peace. When someone is ready to let go, the greatest gift you can give is permission, spoken gently, or sometimes silently through acceptance. A calm nod, a held hand, a whispered thank you. When permission is given, the body relaxes, the soul rests, and the transition becomes gentle. Understand this deeply. The final year of life is not about loss, it is about completion. Nothing is being taken away. Everything is being returned. The body returns its borrowed energy to the earth. The mind releases its stories. The soul steps into stillness. When we recognize these signs, we do not count days. We deepen moments. We do not measure time. We multiply presence. Every act of kindness, every word of gratitude, every silent vigil becomes eternal. To those caring for the elderly, know this: you are not witnessing decline. You are witnessing transformation. And to those in their later years listening now, know this: you are not fading, you are ripening. Your slowing is not failure, it is fulfillment. Life is not meant to be held forever. It is meant to be lived fully and then released gracefully. When we stop fearing the end, we start honoring the whole journey. And in that understanding, death loses its darkness and becomes what it has always been: a quiet return to peace.